All right. Welcome to Deep Cuts the Game, the movie trivia podcast with great movies and great guests. Every week, I bring on three interesting people from the world of entertainment, give them three movies, and challenge them to pull out the most obscure actors they can. The deeper the cut, the more points they earn. Jesus. 2 weeks in, still can't get it right, Alex. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, and with me, as always, albino Jimmy Neutron, Alex Young. How's it going, man? Yeah.
Pretty good, man. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. It's our second show this week. We're coming in strong in the new year.
I mean, we'll see. It's our second show. Is it strong? Who knows?
It's yeah. I was going to say last year, I think it was like you, me, and like some friends kind of thing. So I think we've definitely upped our game for sure.
Great. Speaking of friends, I went to see. Oh my god, I forgot the name of the movie. Marty Supreme with Vanya, who's been on the show a couple of times, and she insisted we see it in 70mm, which I'm not opposed to. I love 70mm, but it's only playing in one theater in Toronto in 70mm, which is the Varsity in Cinema 8. Which, if you're not from around the city, you're not going to know this theater, but it is the largest in the Varsity, largest in that particular establishment. It's also the oldest, which means it has the shallowest curve. So if you are a shorter guy like me, or if you've got legs for days but a torso for minutes, you're more likely going to get an obstructed view. It's very hard to get a good seat in that theater, just because the seats are so close together. But if you get close, or if you sit on the sides, it's usually not too bad. So we were on the side, which is just a group of five. So it's like she and I on the edge, buffer seat, and a couple sitting on the other side. And I will digress to say I did have a pretty good view. It was only marginally obstructed. So 70 mils, not quite right, but like 63mm. Saw the movie in 63mm, and it was pretty good. But seat beside me, empty, couple on the other side. I eat my popcorn. And I only got halfway through it, and I put it down, but I made a point of tucking it under the seat beside me, just in case anybody had to go by it and get kicked in the dark. You know, the husband, he went at one point and didn't kick it, so it worked out great. And then halfway through the movie, I picked it up and I ate the rest, leaving the detritus at the bottom, rolled the bag down, put it back. Movie's over. We're all gathering our trash, because we're not heathens. We're not going to leave our trash behind us. We're going to take it with us at the movie theater, everybody. Take your garbage with you. So I reached down, grabbed the bag, and I'm like, oh, shit. I grabbed hers. I grabbed the woman beside me, her popcorn by accident. So I'm like, I'll put that down. It's fine. I'm sure she's not offended that I grabbed the garbage. And then I grabbed my popcorn, which was half full.
Oh, no.
Or half empty, because I know you're always pessimistic, Jeff. But either way, there was still a horrifying amount of popcorn in there, considering that I finished my popcorn and I realized I ate this lady's popcorn in the dark. I just casually grabbed it and ate it like a jerk, just right beside her. Like a Bond villain, just consumed the whole thing.
Is I ate this lady's popcorn some sort of euphemism?
Yeah,
I wish it were. That
is this a there will be blood kind of thing? Yeah. I eat your popcorn.
What I should have done was been like, I'm so sorry. I ate your popcorn. You can have the rest of mine, which is weird, or I'll replace it or whatever. I'm sure she didn't notice. I'm sure she wasn't that offended. But what I did instead was turn to Vanya and say, we gonna get the fuck out of here. I've done a crime. So I'm like, I'll meet you in the lobby. And I left and I threw my remaining popcorn in the garbage, get rid of all the evidence. So now there's two reasons that I hate that theater. An obstructed view. There's some asshole going around eating everybody's
popcorn. Yeah, you should put up like a misconnections on Craigslist. Like, to anyone who's at the Varsity and their popcorn got stolen, I'm with you. I think I know who the culprit is.
Yeah, some jerk with great hair.
Well, that's a great story, Alex. I have a follow-up for that at some point, I think, that involves popcorn as well. But let's bring in our guest. First up, Brantley Palmer, returning like the fourth time, maybe, I think?
Yes.
4 times. You've won, you've lost, you've come in the middle, but I think it's been depreciating returns, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you started out super strong to the point where we're like, this guy is one of the best, to where like it was like very poor showing.
Rude?
I think he knows.
I think I've described it that way, that I was the guest of diminishing returns. But I got very lucky the first time when you guys chose Armageddon as a movie, because I've watched that dumb, ridiculous movie so many times. So that was pretty easy to pull from.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just happy to be here and get a chance to try my luck one more time.
Well, thank you very much for being here, Brantley. But we have another guest with us, Alex, tonight. So I did write something for them tonight. Sometimes I try to wing it. Sometimes I just, whatever. But let me welcome in our special guest for tonight. I weirdly enough knew him first from a short-lived TV show that used to air in syndication on Sunday afternoons in my area. And it wasn't until a few years later that I figured out that he was Chainsaw from Summerschool. He may just be the perfect guest for this show, as his website is actually called Hey, You're That Guy. Please welcome Dean Cameron to the show. Dean, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And happy belated birthday. As I was doing some research, I saw your birthday. You're a Christmas baby, so that's gotta kind of suck. I know it's maybe not as much as when you were a kid, but at least now when
when I was a kid, it sucked. I mean, I never had a birthday party, and
but now everyone's got to come around your house in the holidays, and they at least got to throw in a happy birthday kind of thing. So we're very thankful that you're here. I've got so many things I want to talk to you about, so I'm going to start way at the beginning, and before we even talk about Summerschool, I wanted to ask you about Prince of Bel-Air, a TV movie that you did that, much like Summerschool, had Markharmon, Kirstie Alley, yourself, and I always forget mess up his last name, but it's Patrick Laborto is in it as well. So, was there any connection between that made-for-TV movie and then Summerschool a couple years later?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that. Mark was obviously familiar with me and Patrick and Kirstie, and I know my agent said that we had. I think we're at the same agency, and he'd asked my agent, he goes, "Do you have someone like Dean Cameron, only younger?" And my agent goes, "No, but I have Dean. We have Dean."
Yeah, Dean. He can play a couple years younger. So, I mean,
there was overlap on that.
I've never seen it, but I was just looking at it. It had you also had Don Swayze in it, and I just saw Don Swayze just popped up in that Margaret Qualley movie, Honey Don't. He's got a small part as a bartender in it, and then Robert Vaughn, and then one of the Heathers from Heathers is in it too. So it's
which one?
I literally wrote down one of the Heathers.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't Winona,
there's no way to know.
Yeah, it wasn't the blonde one. It was
Heather.
Yeah, it was Heather. It was Lisanne Falk.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so she was in that as well. So
a couple days on it, so
okay. So then a couple years later, you do Summerschool, and the one I've watched it as a kid, and I've watched it a few times, kind of as I've gotten older. And the one thing I never noticed was the shrinking class, because I believe on the first day of Summerschool, the class is full. There's not an empty seat in the house, but by the time you guys are taking your final writing equivalency test, there's only 9 of you. Yeah. Where did everyone go? I think there was even the guy you guys make that you're trying to scare off the one teacher, and you do the horror scene in the classroom, and there's the kind of the pothead stoner guy that's doing the fake hand kind of thing. And I was like, what happened to this guy? Everyone, they were so great and so happy that everyone raised their grades up, but I was like, what about the other 15 people that just didn't bother coming to class anymore?
Yeah, they were airlifted home.
So then we get to I think kind of right in between Prince of Bel-Air and Summerschool, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, the movie has come out, and then you're cast in, I gotta say, probably a difficult role to pick up, as Jeff Spicoli in the Fast Times TV show. Now I was kind of looking up Fast Times, was it a box office smash? It was, and it did well enough, especially as kind of probably an R-rated teen movie at the time that wasn't in a ton of theaters, but here you come into in hindsight, one of the most iconic 80s roles of all time, and have to play Sean Penn, who I think you knew. I think you guys had the same acting teacher, if I'm not mistaken, when you were young, right?
Yeah.
So up in Canada, I don't even know if we got Fast Times, the TV show. So I'm just wondering, I don't want to say what went wrong, but why only 7 episodes for it? You got Courtney Thorne in it, Patrick Dempsey, you got a couple of the teachers have come back. You got good cameos from like Fred Willard, Martin Mull, like great people come on to the show. So was what happened?
Well, it was about 4 years after
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, yeah.
And CBS, it was CBS. So at the time, CBS was the Tiffany network, and it was geared towards sort of adults.
Okay.
It was more, that's where all the like older people watch that network. That was their thing. And they were very adamant. The show was called Fast Times, not Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because they didn't want really high school in it. And there were all the publicity stuff said it's a show about the teenagers and the adults in their lives.
Ugh.
And also we were hamstrung, like Jeff Spicoli couldn't be high. Drug references. Jeff was just sort of spacey and weird. And, to be honest, no one wanted the Jeff Spicoli part. I mean when they announced the TV series, which was, I think they announced it, like, I started reading for it in July of 86 or 85, whatever year that was. And I was friends with Chris McGlover, and he said, some dickhead's going to get the part of Spicoli? That's a horrible job. And everyone in town was like, who's the poor schlub? Jeff Spicoli. It turned out to be me, but it actually, it was really good for me. It put me on the map because it indirectly led to me doing summer school too. Or not summer school too, but summer school.
But summer school.
And so it worked out in 7 episodes, was just fine. Paid my rent for a couple of years, and it was good. So.
Well, it's funny because we just Alex and I just did a show earlier this week with Corin Nemec from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and he was in almost a similar position because they were trying to recreate Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and they tried to. I think it was CBS as well with I think the actor's name is like Charlie. Yeah, and he's put in this probably horrible position to try to play the TV version of Matthew Broderick. And I think, and like that had Jennifer Aniston on it and stuff like that, before she was really known. And I think that only lasted like 12 episodes or something like that. Yeah. So you're almost better off to just kind of like, we're going to do something completely different rather than try to recreate the magic of like 2 of the biggest 80s teen movies of that decade, right?
And they had Cameron Crowe was involved, and Amy Heckerling directed a bunch of the episodes. And
okay.
And it was really good writers and directors, but it's hard, difficult to do. Because Fast Times is really edgy and dark.
Oh yeah, it's not a happy-go-lucky film. No. Like there's essentially date rape, there's abortion, there's like it's like you look back on it now and you're like, oh, that's I don't want, like I have kids who are like 19 and 21 now. They can watch it, but like, it wasn't something I'd be like, hey, when you're 15, go watch this movie kind of thing. Like not with me anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's an intense movie. So they were trying to make there was like Square Pegs, I think was. Yeah. They were trying to sort of get in that Square Pegs lane, and it just didn't work. So, but good. It all worked out.
Am I correct? And did you also audition for Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I was roommates with Eric Stoltz at the time, and back then you could sort of crash auditions. So I drove because I couldn't get an audition for it, so I drove him to the audition. He was waiting out in the
and you're like, I got a buddy in the car that wants to come in.
Amy Heckerling came out and said, "Are you an actor?" I said, "Yeah." And so I read for Damone.
Okay.
And it went well. I'm just waiting to hear.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So then a couple years later, we do Ski School 2, which I believe were all filmed up in BC at Whistler, if I'm not mistaken, from all the bibs everyone was wearing and all the signage. I did watch it last week. My daughter was in the room, and I think it pretty much opens with boobs off the top. Yeah. And I was like, it's okay, honey, you can go. And I was like, I do like how that film wastes no time. And they're just like, there's no setup. It's just, we hate these guys. They hate us. We like to party. They don't. Here's some boobs. Everybody get to skiing. Yes. I was going to say, once again, it does kind of the same thing as Summer School did. Is like, I think there's like 3 guys with you off the top because it's you, Stuart, Patrick again, and then I cannot remember Johnny's Yeah, the four of you, and then there's like three other guys that we see for like one scene, and then are never seen again. They just kind of like they nod a bunch of times, and they disappear after the first party.
Yeah, they're Canadian local hires who.
And I think in summer school too, or ski school too, you come back, and I think Will Sasso is in the cast, so that's one of the big Canadian breakout stars from that one.
That's one of his first acting.
Yeah, it's got to be. I know he did a Canadian TV show called Madison that was kind of like a ripoff of Degrassi kind of thing. So, and then so off the top, I was talking about where I kind of, I don't know if it was Saturday or Sunday afternoon, but like Global Television up here in Canada had the rights to They Came from Outer Space in syndication, and it would just air every weekend. I think right after Out of This World. Like there was this whole kind of like syndicated TV, like 80s and 90s, all these shows like Harry and the Hendersons and like the Baywatches and stuff like that would just kind of like run on the weekend afternoon. And I was like, it's that guy from Summer School. And then I was like, oh, and the guy from Ski School. So were you and Stuart, like, was this something you guys kind of got into together? I know you guys worked a fair amount together.
Yeah, we'd gotten back from Canada doing Ski School, and we became fast friends on Ski School. We just had a blast doing that, and we both separately got auditions for They Came from Outer Space, and we asked if we could go in and read together, and we basically improv'd the two scenes, and I remember the writer-producer going, hated the acting, loved the writing. And, but they apparently canceled all the other auditions.
Oh, really? Nice.
For the not that day, but for the rest of the thing, they made our deals, and they got the gig. I read with Courtney Gaines.
From like we mentioned, from everything, from Children of the Corn and The Burbs, and
I read with Courtney for Stewart's part. But it was sort of a pity fuck for him, I guess, because it was me and Stewart. I tried to get Courtney the job too. So, but
we're in talks to get Courtney on the show. So if you run into him, tell him he was like, I got a new album coming out. I was like, well, come on the show. We'll promote the shit out of it. So, so then 90s and the 2000s, you popping up on every crime show, every sitcom. You're like Mad About You. ER, The Mentalist, How to Get Away with Murder, and then I just got into watching all the old episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and you essentially reprised your role from Ski School.
Yeah, they wrote that for me.
Yeah, no, and that was great. I was like, Alex, do you remember that episode? I can't remember
the ski episode's great. What do you think? Wrote it for you? Say more about that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And people ask me, is there going to be a Ski School 3? And I go, there is a Ski School 3. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's a sequel.
Yeah, you just never grew up. You just stayed at the resort. That was a good one. And then my son's going to be mad because I just noticed it today that you did, like, I think it's like one episode, but you did a voice in like Regular Show, which couple episodes, where like when he was like a young kid, like we would watch the hell out of Regular Show, and like and I think like We Bare Bears and stuff like that. So great stuff. And then we got like Straight Outta Compton. You're showing up there in the 2000, like the mid 2000s, I think that one was. And then now, so I'm kind of interested in your music work too. So I don't know how much of this is current, but I saw something about karaoke. Do you still do the karaoke stuff?
I do. It's not karaoke anymore. It's just live band karaoke.
Okay.
So that started. I was in a band with two of the guys from Steel Panther, and at the time they were metal shop at the time, and they were just part of this group of musicians who did cover gigs. They're called wig bands, so they do like disco and the Spasmatics and like all these different things, and the drummer Darren and I were trying to come up with something, and thought live band karaoke, and we needed an angle, and so we just played 80s tunes, and each one of us was a Corey from the 80s.
Yeah, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, and Corey Hart.
the conceit was that Michael Jackson had molested all of us and promised us an opening slot if we could, learn to play music. And so
I think, yeah.
And so then I froze. There.
No, you're good. No, it's all right. It happens.
And so then I got a call from an attorney. We want to make sure that people know it's not Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, and nobody cared about Corey Hart. We changed it to Corey Feldstein, Corey Haim, and Corey Hart with a D, HRDT. But we ended up dispensing with the wigs because that's annoying, and we also started playing stuff from the 60s, 70s, and current stuff. So no, I just at least once a week we have a regular gig that I play.
And are you guys? Is it the Thornbirds now? Is that the name of the band?
Thornbirds was the band I was in with Russ and Derek.
Okay.
We had a record deal and all that stuff, and yeah, it was cool.
Well, it's Alex. We can't even get a podcast deal.
Yeah, no, well, that's back when you could get a record deal.
Yeah.
Right at the very end.
I know we have one fan of the show who, as soon as I mentioned that I talked to you and I might be having you on, he's like, "Oh, have me on." So Kevin, this one's for you because he loves those ski school movies. Like he could quote them, and I was like, Kevin, I can't have you on. He would have been globbing on to you kind of thing. So, but he'll be happy to hear this one. So why don't we jump into a game of deep cuts? So the first thing we do is we decide who's going first, second, and third. So deep cuts, Dean, as I was describing to you, is we do 6 rounds. I'm going to give you guys 3 movies that hopefully you're very familiar with. I think by the sounds of it, you will be. And then you just got to come up with the deepest cut of an actor or an actress from that film.
Okay.
And you'll do one at a time. Everyone gets one turn, and then we go back. So we got to decide who's going first, second, or third. So the way we do that, we do the IMDb game. So I'm going to give you an actor that you've worked with, and you got to tell me what you think they're best known for is on IMDb.
Okay.
So from the movie, oh crap, I can't even remember what movie you were in with it. No, I know it's a great start, but I'm just going to say Emilio Estevez, because I believe you worked with him on
Men at Work.
Men at Work, yes. I kept wanting to say Garbage Men, but I'm like, that's not the name of the movie. They were Garbage Men, and I think you were a pizza delivery guy, if I'm not mistaken. So, so yes, Men at Work, Emilio Estevez. I'll tell you this, Men at Work is not one of his best known for movies. So, Dean, what do you think Emilio Estevez is best known for? And I will let you know, like, they're not all acting credits because he does a lot, like he does the directing, right? And that kind of, it's a weird list.
I'd say, well, there are 3.
Okay, you only get one though.
I know, so I'm gonna say The Breakfast Club, but it could also be St. Elmo's Fudd or Young Guns.
All right, I'm gonna put Breakfast Club down.
Yeah,
because that makes sense. Brantley, what do you think Emilio Estevez best known for should be on IMDb?
Or being Charlie Sheen's brother.
Yes.
Well, those other 2 options are great, but my mind immediately went to The Mighty Ducks. So I'm hoping that like the family film of it all gets it up high. So I'm going to go that route.
Also makes sense.
Yeah.
Alex Young, what do you think?
I'm going to go with, I'm surely wrong, but it's one of my favorites, and I know it's had a Criterion release, so I'm going to go with Repo Man.
Repo Man. Also makes sense. All 3 of your guesses make sense. All 3 of your guesses are not on his list. Alex, that is one sexy cat you got walking through the screen there.
That's a cat butthole.
Number 1 on his list is a movie called The Way.
Oh.
Number 2 is Bobby, which I think he directed, if I'm not mistaken. Number 3 is The Public, which I think he also directed. I think it's about like a library and they're trying to let homeless people or unhoused people stay there. And then number 4 is Young Guns 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Young Guns 2, like of all the movies, Young Guns 2. So none of you scored. So I'm going to give it to Dean because I think Breakfast Club honestly should be on the list. If not number 1, it should be on the list.
Surprising.
So Dean, would you like to go first, second, or third?
I'll go third.
Third.
I'm not going to be good at this at all.
You're going to do great at it.
All right. Thanks, Dad.
I'm going to say Alex with Repo Man. Would you like to go first or second, Alex?
Yeah, You know what? I don't think I've ever gone first. I'm gonna go first.
All right. And Brantley, number 2.
My streak continues always being right in the middle at number 2 every time.
So the 3 movies on tonight's game of deep cuts are from 1987, Summer School. From I think it was 82. I didn't write it down. Fast Times at Ridgemount High. And then from 1995, this is the movie, Dean, we talked about that you had a much smaller role in, Kicking and Screaming. And I know you probably, I put it on my list and then I watched it and I was like, I think you only share a scene with maybe like 2 of the actors. So you probably aren't super aware of everyone in that film, but you are in it. So while everyone kind of thinks of some names here, let's hear a word from our non-existent sponsors.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Turn your dial to find the frequency of the past.
Captain Advice.
Where the classic stories of mysteries, sci-fi, thrillers, and suspense are found waiting to be heard once again.
Another case for Nick Carter, Master Detective.
You'll find a variety of those stories here, in their original form, where each episode takes you to another place or time.
The Man of Bronze, Doc Savage.
But only when you find the mystery frequency. Available everywhere.
The shadow knows.
We are back with Deep Cuts the Game. We have Brantley Palmer, the Dean Cameron, with the movies Summer School, Fast Times at Ridgemount High, and the 1995 Kicking and Screaming, not to be confused with the Robert Duvall, Will Ferrell movie of the same name about a dad and his son coaching soccer teams. Alex Young, you are first. What is your deepest cut?
I'm gonna go with the Kicking and Screaming. That's not the Will Ferrell movie. And if I'm not mistaken, Noah Baumbach has a director cameo as the Would You Rather guy, who's going back and forth with all the like, would you rather sleep with a cow or kill your mother? Like it's one of those.
Oh, he's outside the apartment building. Yeah, I didn't recognize him, but yeah, he definitely is in it, and he does have more than just a walk-on cameo. So yeah, Noah's worth 10 points. Alex,
I'll take it.
Noah Baumbach, 10 points. Brantley, what's your first deep cut?
This is the only deep cut I'm probably going to be able to pull from Fast Times at Ridgemont High because I know some of the stars. Obviously, I don't think I'm remembering too many of the others, but I believe very early Nicolas Cage appearance in that film, like he's like the fry cook or something.
Yeah, or is he just one of the stoners? I can't remember. I know a bunch of guys.
Restaurant.
He works at the restaurant. Yeah.
He's one of Brad's
is he? Yeah, he's Brad's bud, and he may even be listed as just. He may still be Nicholas Coppola at that point, if I'm not mistaken. So well done there. Nicolas Cage listed as Brad's bud for 10 points as well. Because while it is a small part, he is Nicolas Cage. He's kind of hard to forget. So Dean, we're at your point now. You're going to get 2 in a row because we go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And I'll tell you this right now. It's never a bad idea to say your own name when you're in one of the films, maybe even 2 of them. So what is your first deep cut?
I'm going to go with Kicking and Screaming.
Okay.
John Lear.
Man, I hope I wrote him down because there was a lot. Yeah, John. Yeah, I did write John Lear down.
And he's one of the Geico cavemen.
Was he really? Because I went to his IMDb because I saw him. He's pretty high up in the credits, and there's a picture of him, and I didn't bother to do it. Like I was like, man, no, I don't really know this guy from anything else. But yeah, if he's one of the Geico cavemen, so I had him down for 13 points for John Lear. That's a good deep cut and good knowledge. Yeah.
Also, Carlos Jacot, who's also in Kicking and Screaming, is another Geico caveman.
Oh, is he really? Wow. So that's okay. Are you going to use Carlos as your deep cut, or do you want to save that one for later? Because Carlos has a pretty big part in that film, right? Like he's right. So if you want to go somewhere else, feel free. So if you want to you can go to Summer School, or you can go to Kicking and Screaming, wherever you want.
I'll go to Fast Times because there's an overlap in Fast Times with Kicking and Screaming.
There is,
which is Eric Stoltz.
It is, yes. Eric Stoltz plays like the 12 years the veteran of school in Kicking and Screaming, the bartender, and then he's also listed as just Stoner Bud in Fast Times. And I figured you would have pretty good knowledge of at least one person that you knew because I had read you drove him to the audition. So he is worth 10 points for Fast Times and 3 points for Kicking and Screaming. So he is worth 13 points. So that's a great start. Brantley Palmer, what is your second deep cut?
I'm going to bring us to summer school now, and I love sports films. And one of you mentioned the students who disappear in the movie, the big guy who gets the bathroom pass, but then does come back at the end. He's in a bunch of football movies like Necessary Roughness, but I will always remember him from The Program as like the linebacker on the defense who tragically gets his leg broken, and his pro dreams are dashed. So that's my. I have no idea what his name is though. I'm sorry.
His name's Dwayne Davis, and my touchstone for him is Beetlejuice. As like
he plays a football player, right?
He's a football player in like whatever purgatory, and they're like, "Hey, coach, when do we get in the game?" And he's like one of the dead football players. Yeah. So Dwayne Davis for 11 points. Well done, Brantley. Alex, you get 2 in a row yourself.
I'm also going to take one from summer school because I'm just on a director cameo kick right now. But Carl Reiner.
Which I was kind of shocked when I watched this movie again, and I was like, "Oh, directed by Carl Reiner," and I was like, "Oh, Carl Reiner's in this as the teacher that kind of like what's he win $50,000 or something on a scratch off?" And I was like, "That's not enough to retire." I mean, like maybe it is, but back in 1987 you could, but so Carl Reiner, Alex, is worth 11 points, not our full 12 for the director because he's got a part and he's Carl Reiner.
He's heavily pushed in the trailer too. Like the new film by Carl Reiner. Oh, cool.
Carl Reiner, that's pretty good. What's your third deep cut?
We're about to get way less deep, Jeff.
Okay.
One of the leads in Kicking and Screaming, again, he's one of the leads that are not going to be worth a lot, but I know him, but he's in a bunch of stuff, but I know him best from Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. He's one of the like producers, one of the executives of the show that's like constantly trying to undermine Amanda Peet. I don't remember his name, but he's the guy in Kicking and Screaming that's like wearing the pajama shirt at like graduation or whatever.
That's Carl Jacob. That's the taller guy. Yes, that is supposed. It's Carlos Jacob. He's supposed to be going to like engineering school, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in Minnesota. He's like, what's in Minnesota?
Is he in Studio 60? Alex, are you sure? I'm just curious.
Sure.
You're 100%
I've watched that show
sure.
too many times.
All right, let me look him up. I just want to confirm before I give you.
That's fine.
Like the 3 points you're about to get.
I'll take really hard one. 3 points.
Because I remember him from like Grosse Pointe Blank and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's double check here. When was Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip? Oh, there he is.
College. Like
4 episodes, Alex. He's in 4 episodes of that show, and for some reason you remember that's your touchstone for him. That's pretty crazy.
I watched a lot.
So yes, 3 points for Carlos. Taking that one away from Dean.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alex. So 3 points. Brantley, we're back to you. What's your third deep cut?
Again, I don't even remember the character's name, but I don't remember the actor's name. He's the one who's the stripper. He's always falling asleep in class because he's stripping at night.
Yeah. Okay. What do you know him from?
Leprechaun. Isn't he like the male lead in Leprechaun?
Yeah, his name is Ken Olant. He was in Leprechaun, and April Fool's Day is his other kind of like big film from
that. Okay.
Ken Olant for 8 points.
I'll take it. It's going to get a lot worse after this. So.
I mean, I think he's supposed to be 17 or something in that film, and that's why he can't strip. And I'm like, he looks like he's 24, and
he was 30.
He was 30. Yeah.
Wow.
There was Johnny Smith was the only actual teenager in that movie.
Oh, really?
He was 18. Yeah.
And you know what, Alex? You know what I know? Carlos Jacob, the guy from Studio 60, and I wasn't sure if I was misremembering, but I remember him from 2 episodes of Seinfeld. He's Ramon, the pool guy that wants to be friends with Jerry, and then I think Newman almost drowns him when he jumps in the pool, and they won't give him mouth to mouth because it's gross. Dean, we're back to you. What is your third and your fourth deep cut? Still lots of good names on the board here.
So do I have to know other stuff they've been in?
You don't have to. If you know their name, if you just know their name, perfect. Okay. If you know something else they're in, but you don't know their name, that also counts.
So can I do Fast Times again?
Yeah, for sure.
Amanda Wyss.
She's Brad's girlfriend, right? If I'm not mistaken, or
part of the perfect couple.
Yeah, and so she's Nightmare on Elm Street. She gets and Better Off Dead with John Cusack. She kind of plays the same character in Better Off Dead because she leaves John Cusack for the skier. And this, yeah,
Aaron Dozier is that actor's name.
Well done. I did not know that. So she's worth 15 points because she's not in it a whole lot.
Nice.
Amanda Weiss for 15 points. Okay, what is your fourth deep cut, Dean? You're doing great here.
I could do another Fast Times, or I have a Summer School. I have a really deep cut for Fast Times.
Okay, bring it.
Blair Tefkin.
Who does Blair Tefkin play?
He played the Pat Benatar lookalike.
Do you know how you spell Blair Tefkin? Fast Times at Ridgemount High, 1982. And Pat Bernardo is what they're credited in. Otherwise known for the TV. Oh man, I love this TV V. The TV series V.
Nice.
Like the 1980s one. And yeah, still it was in Greenberg like 10 years ago. So that's an automatic 20 points. If I don't have them on my list, it's 20 points. And I think we can all agree that is a fair 20.
Totally.
Definitely.
Blair Tefkin for 20 points. Brantley Palmer, you're a fourth deep cut.
Okay, so I think she got mentioned before, and she was the only actor I recognized by name from Summer School. Well, besides the stars, obviously, but Shawnee Smith, who again would go on to do some horror after. She was on the first, I think, 3 Saw movies and stuff like that. So I was surprised that was. I didn't recognize her at first, actually.
Yeah, Shawnee Smith, the pregnant girl in Summer School. She's worth 6 points.
I'll take it.
And I think she did the John Candy movie, Who's Harry Crumb? That's kind of like one of the things I remember her from when I was a kid. And she's in all the Saw, maybe not all the Saw movies, but has been kicking around in the Saw movies. And I think she's in the Blob too, like the Kevin Dillon Blob movie.
Oh, the 80s.
Right. She's like the main love interest in that.
Donovan Leitch Blob movie.
Yes. Alex Young, you get your fourth and your fifth. You got to make up some ground here. You're doing okay, but Dean's running away with it.
Well, I'm probably not going to catch up, but I'm going to try because I do remember that I have one good one for Kicking and Screaming, which I did at one point. I remember way back when I was watching it. I'm like, why do I know this person? But Susan from Friends is in it.
That's right.
The one who steals Ross's wife.
Yeah, Jessica Hecht is the actress's name. She's the one that's selling the airline ticket at the end of the film. She's also in Breaking Bad. Yeah, she's in Breaking Bad. She used to be with Walt, her and her husband, and at the end he brings them the money. He's like, "You're going to get this to my family," kind of thing. So Jessica Hecht for 11 points, Alex.
Great.
What's your fifth deep cut?
About as opposite as that, and that is in Summer School. Kirstie Alley's in that movie.
She is, Alex. I mean, you could have done worse, but yeah, that's about as low as you can go. So Kirstie Alley for 2 points.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I don't know what she sees in that other guy. I'm not quite sure. He doesn't even have a good personality, but
extraordinarily tidy.
Brantley Palmer, what is your fifth deep cut? We're almost at the end here. We only got 6 to do, so you need 2 more. What's your fifth?
Yeah, I'm not going to do much better than Kirstie Alley, I think. But so I've never seen Kicking and Screaming. I do apologize, Dean. I have never watched it. But I did work in video stores for a long time, and I believe I recall that Parker Posey is on the cover of that VHS. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah. I mean, it was the mid-90s, so if you were doing an indie comedy, Parker Posey kind of had to be in it by...
You had to include her,
yeah.
Parker Posey.
Because, what else did she have? She had, was it the Clock Watchers one, Alex?
Yeah, Party Girl.
Party Girl.
Was around that
Party Girl. And then there's another one with, Liv Schreiber, and they're, chasing someone around the city. I can't remember what that's called. But, Parker Posey for 5 points.
I'll take it.
I can't remember what her name. She's got she's Hamilton, I think is her name in the film.
Miami.
Miami, yes. I knew it was like a city or a town or something like that. Yeah, and they're like, you slept with Miami? Yeah. So 5 points for Parker Posey. Dean, it's your final two deep cuts. You're doing great. You haven't even said the most obvious one, but I'll leave that up to you. What is your 5th deep cut?
I'm going to go with Bo Starr in Summer School.
As your dad, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, will he remember who played his parents? Best known for like the Halloween franchise. I think he's like a dad or a... Yeah, he's in one of the Halloween movies. I don't know if he's a sheriff or something like that. But yeah, Bo Starr. What my favorite line from him in that is, I think you and your movie. I don't want to say his name. Yeah, you guys, you scored the same on the test, and he's like, well, that makes sense. They share the same brain.
In that scene, he cracks both of us up, and you can see us trying not to laugh.
Oh, really?
He goes, when he said something, and then he goes, "My wife and I, we burst into tears," and start laughing.
So Bo Starr is worth 13 points. What is your final deep cut?
How about Lucy Lee Flippin?
Lucy Lee Flippin from Little House on the Prairie. She is the teacher that you guys freak out with all the horror stuff. And yeah, I kind of forgot about her, but I was watching Patrick Leberto's like IMDb, like his stuff, and he was talking about how like he worked with her on Little House on the Prairie, and then here 10 years later she comes on as like the substitute teacher. Lucy Lee Flippin for an additional 14 points. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, because I think she's like, oh, I've only ever taught like elementary school. This will be a fun change. And then she comes in, there's just dead bodies all over the classroom. So yes, 14 points for Lucy Lee Flippin. Well done. Brantley, your final deep cut. You just gave us Parker Posey. What else you got?
I mean, there's no way I can win, right? I mean, even if I pull like a 20-pointer, I'm done, right?
No, you can't win.
Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to say Gunnar Hansen because he's shown when they show Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the movie.
I didn't write that down. I'm gonna like, and normally my rule is like unless it's on the IMDb page, I don't include it. But I think we can all agree that we see him when they're watching the films. So that's going to be. I'm going to give you 18 points for that, Brantley.
I'll take it. It was either that or I'm going to start listing like a well-known star of one of these movies. So
yeah, like Sean Penn. Yeah, we know he was in it. We've talked about him all night. Alex Young, what's your final deep cut?
Well, I mean, I'm essentially out. I was right with Brantley where I'm like, well, that guy from NCIS. So instead, I'm going to go. I can't leave the name on the floor, so I'm going to take Dean Cameron.
Yeah, Dean Cameron's in 2 of these films. So you're going to get 4 points for Summer School, and you're going to get 12 points for his part in Kicking and Screaming, Alex. So that's 16 points. Dean, I want to ask you, do you remember what movie you pitch while because you work in the video store in Kicking and Screaming, and you pitch Carlos a movie that you're working on? Do you remember what it was about?
No.
Because I was like, oh yeah, that is a ridiculously like disgusting idea for a movie. And then I'm like, wait, somebody made that goddamn movie like a year before that you mentioned it. So you talk about, oh yeah, my movie ideas changed. It's about a son who's living with his mom, and they become attracted to each other and start like an affair kind of thing. Right. And he's like, oh, you're like, it's like Lolita. And he's like, yeah, but Lolita, they weren't related. And you're like, yeah, we're pushing boundaries. And then I was like, wait, wasn't this a movie? And it was a David O. Russell movie called Spanking the Monkey.
Oh, you're right.
Which it's what's his Jeremy Davies, I think, is like got to take care of his mom, and he's got to put lotion on her legs all the time. And it was like, and I'm like, yeah, it's essentially that movie. So I wonder if Noah kind of like,
there are no accidents.
Yeah. So, and he's like, yeah, it's a ridiculous movie, and he's kind of making fun of the fact that somebody literally made this movie. And so that is the end of 6 rounds. Let me see, who did we miss here? Anything interesting? You didn't see Kicking and Screaming, Brantley. Alex, you did. The girl who is like, she's the townie. She's like the 17-year-old girl that like works at the store.
Works in the cafeteria.
That's Cara Buono from Stranger Things. She's the mom that's in the hospital in Stranger Things.
Oh. Like
I saw her name in the credits, and I was like, when? I didn't see her. because I'm expecting like blonde hair, but she's got this curly long hair, and she's like playing a teenager. One of the famous DeLuise boys is in it. David DeLuise from Wizards of Waverly Place. He plays the bouncer that won't let someone in because he doesn't have his ID on him. You got a bunch of Bombacs show up, like Nico's in it. Elliot Gould would be a decent one. One of the guys hooks up with a redhead girl, but he doesn't have a condom. That's Marissa Ribisi.
Oh, right.
From Dazed and Confused and Giovanni's sister. And then there's a guy, he's in the very first scene, and I think he's trying to chat up Parker Posey, or I think he's chatting up Olivia Diabo. And his name is Peter Zerzin. And I think it's his only acting credit, but he's a producer, and he did like 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri and stuff like that. So that's a good one. Fast Times. I'm not going to give you all the big ones here. One of my favorite ones is Pamela Springsteen is in it, Bruce's sister. She's also from Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. So that's a good one. Forrest Whitaker, decent. And then, from Summer School, let's see here. So your mom is an actress named Laura Waterbury, who is also in Better Off Dead. She plays Dan Schneider's mom, the one that's like got the French exchange student, and she's like, she's very interesting. And then
Tony Edwards from In Fast Times, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. And then the last good one from Summer School is the Italian exchange student, played by an actress named Fabiana Udenio. And she's in one of the Austin Powers movies as Falata Vagina. Right. And I was like, oh, this girl looks familiar. And I looked and I was like, oh shit, she's Falata Vagina. So let's add up these points here. Brantley pulled up a big one there with Gunnar Henderson at the end. So you've got 29, 36, 40, 57 points, a very respectable 57 points. Alex Young,
best showing.
53 points. Oh. That Kirstie Alley and the Carlos didn't help you, Alex. But over here we got 27, 47, 62, 75, 88 points for Dean Cameron. Well done. And you know what? And you didn't even have to resort to, oh, they were in this or they were that. Like you were literally pulling names of people. So that's a really good showing. Dean, the prize is not a prize at all. What we ask people is there anyone that you think would be a good person to come on Deep Cuts and lend their knowledge of films to this? And then I bother them and hopefully they come on the show.
Yeah, Richard Horvitz.
Richard Horvitz, yes, who played, I can't remember his name, but he played like the nerdier character in Summer School. And he does like a ton of voice work now, right?
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
What is I didn't write. I just wrote down voice because there's so many things, but like he's like Invader Zim and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, he's all over the place. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Pat Laberto too.
Who's that?
Patrick Laberto also.
Oh yeah, Patrick. I think I've hit him up, and we kind of talk a little bit on Instagram because I'll make a comment on something and he'll like it and he'll say something, and I think I've hit him up, but he's got his own podcast. I know what it's like. You don't want to do too many other people's podcasts.
I'll harass him if you want.
All right, yeah, that would be great. Thank you very much, Dean. What's going on with you? I know you're like, are you more with the music right now? I've seen a lot of your Instagram posts, and you're doing some performing and stuff like that. So where can people find you other than your website? Hey, you're that guy.
The Dean Cameron on the Instagram. The Dean Cameron.
And you got anything coming up that you want to tell people about and let them know?
There's a movie. Well, there were 2 movies released last year that I'm really proud of. One is called Found Footage, The Making of the Patterson Project.
Yep.
It's great. And another one called Wine Club, which was amazing because they shot it in 5 days, and it's quite good. It's a little long, but I'm really good in it, so that's cool. And then coming up this year, there's a movie called 213 Bones. It's a horror thriller, sort of in the style of that movie with all the young people. Wes Craven directed the first one, Scream.
Oh, okay.
It's because it takes place in the 90s and it's sort of Scream-y. and that's pretty good. So, but I released a record a couple of years ago called Expect Delays with my project called Low Speed Chase. I have 2 new songs that came out recently, Surgeons and Annie. There's going to be 2 more coming out soon. And so, yeah, I've been playing around, open for Steel Panther several times and playing around. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Cause it's getting acting gigs now is difficult. So.
Listen, getting any gig right now is difficult. So it's, I feel you for sure. Brantley Palmer, where are we at with you? I know you were working on your football film. How are things going there?
Pretty good. I wish I could like promote it more, but we're still in post and we're really close to picture lock. So then we'll start doing like color correction and get the score in and everything, and hopefully start submitting to some festivals. But that'll still be a ways away. So I would just say, listen to the With Gorley and Russ podcast that I do research for, and that's what I direct people to.
Awesome. And hey, when you get the film done, let us know. We'd be happy to help promote, man. Alex Young, you just went into mute, but what's going on with you?
I lost my mic here for 1 second.
Riveting.
Hang on. I mean,
Alex is going to be selling Alex Young hair pieces.
That's exactly right. My line of wigs is on its way. That is also a spinoff of my Merkin collection. They're very style. Nothing for me. You can find me on all social media and Letterboxd at the Alex Young. Otherwise, buy your media physically and go through.
All right. Cool.
Great.
Thank you, Alex. We're at the part of the show now where Alex sends me an outro. Now, he did say he was going to make these shorter in a text to me earlier today, but I usually have to read these sight unseen. Is there any direction for tonight, Alex?
Yes. So this one's shorter in the sense that I need you to read it faster.
Okay.
So because of like Marty Supreme and The Quarrel and Nuremberg and all these like period pieces that are coming out recently, I've done this one in the style of like a 1940s newsreel, which I've had you do like old timey baseball. So it's like very similar. Give me your best like transatlantic kind of, you know what I'm expecting.
I know what you're saying. This reminds me, you were mad of my review of a movie where people talked like this, because I gave a review of It Happened One Night.
Yeah.
Where I was like, it's fine. If I had never seen a romantic comedy before, I'd be like, this is a really good movie, but I've seen 100.
First romantic comedy, you ding.
It doesn't mean I have to like it. And then your review of my review was just Jesus Christ or like something. I was like,
I'm with Alex on this one. I love It Happened One Night.
That's fine. I mean, but I can't get past when people talk like that. Like I am very much of the post.
There's about 40 years of movies that you should avoid.
Sure. I'm gonna chime in here. I never saw Seinfeld when I never saw it. So I just started watching it, and it was like, oh, it's funny, but it's just a really edgy sitcom, and there's a lot of those now. Like,
yeah. It's hard to watch something after you've seen it. So I think Dean is on my side of this argument. Like I said, my review literally says if I had never seen a romantic comedy before, I would have been blown away by the film. But having watched it been done 100 times, and also romantic comedies, not really the type of film that I gravitate to, I was like, it's fine.
But like as a person living in the future, I would expect you to be watching it through like the lens of I'm going to watch this. All right, what?
I can't do that. Like even I go back to like Buster Keaton films and stuff like that. I'm like, that's neat, but
he almost died 11 times in this movie.
All right.
I don't want to trouble you guys. Let's
okay.
Dial it down. Let's dial it down, guys.
It's fighting word.
All right, I'm going to put my hand up to my ear like I'm a reporter, Alex. From the bustling docks of the Atlantic to the quiet farms of the Great Plains, we remain your eyes and ears in a world on the move. We hope you'll join us again at the same time next week for the latest dispatches from the front and the stories that shape your lives here home. Wow, somebody forgot some words in their typing here, Alex.
Sorry,
you always make me look like an idiot, but you forgot the word at. I'd like to thank our special correspondent, Dean Cameron and Brantley Palmer, and of course you, our faithful audience. From coast to coast and across the globe, we appreciate your patronage. Thank you for listening to the Deep Cuts Continental Podcast Network. Good night and good luck. All right. Thank you very much. We're going to hit end recording and hopefully everything works.